Hey, it's Jeff Cannata with another NLB mini, this time extra mini, because we're talking about Ant-Man, the new Marvel film, with Paul Rudd as the titular character, Scott Lang, under the tutelage of Michael Douglas's Hank Pym. This, I would say, Guardians of the Galaxy were some pretty B-list characters, but I think Ant-Man might be the B-est of the B-list characters that Marvel has put on the screen to date. So there's a big question mark as to whether Ant-Man was going to work as a movie. This is a character whose powers are pretty ridiculous on the face of them. Talking to ants, commanding ants, being super tiny. What? You're super tiny but you got the strength of a full-size person? How's that going to work on the big screen? Live action. That sounds ridiculous. Got good news for you, folks. If you're looking for Marvel to screw up, you're going to have to keep on looking, because this movie is fantastic. It really is very, very entertaining from start to finish. I mean, I don't think this is the best of the Marvel films, but it certainly is very entertaining, crowd-pleasing, lots of fun from start to finish. I won't have any spoilers for you, but I want to give you a little bit more details on my take. First of all, I love how this fits into the overall Marvel universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we've had established over multiple films. I love how it fits in, how it borrows some of the lore. We have this wonderful older Marvel universe that's only hinted at and only seen a little bit in the films, but we have Agent Carter, which is a television show set in that time period. So this like borrows, Hank Pym is older, so he's from that older S.H.I.E.L.D. generation and bridging it to the now generation with Scott Lang. Very clever, and I love how it's squarely in that universe. We have references to Avengers characters. It's some wonderful scenes where we are talking about things that have happened in that world. Really cool stuff. So I'm geeking out already as a Marvel fan, as a fan of the cinematic universe as it has been established. As a Marvel zombie from way back, I dig that stuff. Also, the look of the movie is really fantastic. The really cool look of being small. We have a long history of people being shrunk down on the big screen. We had The Incredible Shrinking Woman, we had Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Inner Space, lots of movies where people get shrunk down, and they all have different look and feel to when they're in that shrunken world. I think Ant-Man has its own sort of tilt-shifted look to the world when he's Ant-Man, and I think it works so well. It really is. There's like a different lens on the camera that makes everything sort of pulled and distorted a little bit. It really does give a sense of being a tiny person in this giant world, and it never feels fake or false, which is really impressive, I think, because it could seem ridiculous. It could look like, all the just sort of bad, tiny, big things. And it never feels that way. They really pull it off well, and they make it seem cool, which seems so impossible on the face of it. It seems easy after you watch this movie to make something cool out of this, but really it shouldn't have been easy. It seems like it would have been very difficult before this movie was made. And also the story is great. Paul Rudd is a great choice. He's so charismatic on screen, and a lot of this movie is comedic. There's a lot of really great laughs. Michael Pena steals every scene he's in. He is great. And there's a wonderful sort of supporting cast that makes this into a fun heist movie. And it really is a heist movie. There's a couple of really fun heists in it. And because it's a heist movie, it feels different than all the other Marvel films. We still get super-powered superhero stuff, but it seems like it carves out its own little niche, its own little genre, which is great fun. It's very entertaining. There's some wonderful payoffs. It's very exposition heavy in the first third of the movie, almost to the point of fatigue. It's like, we got to give you all this information. We got to cram it down your throat. We got to justify why these powers work, how these powers work, who all these characters are. It crams a lot of info very fast, and so that at the beginning I felt, oh boy, this feels a little pedantic and a little heavy. As far as just sort of information download dump on me head, but it really finds its pace toward the middle, and boy, the end is really fun. Great payoffs for the size stuff, and so much fun to be had with all the sizing up and down, which is what you want out of Ant-Man. There's a lot of clever bits, a lot of clever uses of that power, and I bought it. I bought that world. I bought the fun we were having in it, and I bought that this guy who has what is ostensibly a ridiculous power is just as powerful as some of the mainline Avengers and can be just as useful and just as essential as the big bad Avengers superheroes we've been seeing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So kudos Marvel for pulling that off. I really give a big thumbs up. There's a great stinger if you want to stay after the credits. I thought it was really cool, the stinger at the end, and there's one sort of before the credits and one at the very end of the credits. So be sure to stay for those. I'm going to be talking more about Ant-Man on the Slash Filmcast. We'll be doing a full non-spoiler and spoiler-filled review, so I'll get more detailed about the specific things I like if you want to check that out at slashfilmcast.com. But thank you for watching this video, and subscribe and like if you're wanting to see more NLBs throughout the summer. I'll be continuing to talk about the big summer blockbusters, but really it's good summer so far, I gotta say. I've been overall very pleased with the big summer blockbusters, and Ant-Man is very close to the top of that list. Very fun film. I think you'll like it. See you next time. Oh, that's where it's supposed to stop.